Welcome to the Nameless Voices podcast. This is episode number 34, and I hope everybody who celebrated had a fantastic 4th of July.
Not me, I'm British.
My apologies.
I'm German.
Right. My name is Nanashi, I'll be your host for the evening, and I apologize in advance for whatever this show's going to be. Joining me tonight is a menagerie of personalities. The O is always silent, it's Blitz.
Sup, bitches? I fucked your wife and your dad.
We have the original Yugi memer himself, Connor Lockhart.
Watch Asteroid City now. Do it.
He brings the Unga Bunga to gaming, it's Kenny the Caveman.
I've been in a den with lions, and my brain is goo now because of work.
We have our fellow furry Yugi-tuber, Mr. Ori Kalkos.
Back in trash, I've hit the sack, don't you know it's great to be trash.
We have our token RDA player, Phoenix Reborn.
Now with 20% more dragons.
We have our worst nightmare by name, Tim Brick.
Hello, and Master 2 really simulated the time of Ally of Justice. Really freaky with that solo duo mode.
And he's here in all his protogenic glory, it's Zivuth.
Your originally futuristic local toaster.
Remember to feed him RAM or he will steal your cookies. Not by actual cookies, I mean webline cookies.
I can confirm this.
I forgot to give him RAM last night and he leaked the fact that I like Lucario stuff, lewd stuff. Wow.
Okay, so first things first, how's everybody doing today?
Great.
I'm
alright.
almost
Tired.
It was hot today and it will even get hotter this weekend.
Yeah,
It's
well.
room temperature. This is gonna be room temperature.
Yeah,
Hotter.
I'm basically a baked black guy.
Okay then. Well,
Understandable.
Well,
Things
the Germans get good away with 40 degrees Celsius when some countries in Europe will have over 50 degrees this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cold.
So if it keeps up, your country's gonna be turned into deserts like 20 to 30 years they keep up.
Yeah.
So
well, things have been kind of difficult for me at my work. Without giving too much information away, our air conditioning went out.
Ouch.
I think I've worked with no AC before, and I took off my shirt and worked in a tank top, and I'm fat. And my coworker said, my boss walked by and said, "That's not up to code." I'm like, "You know what's not up to code? This broken ass AC unit. Get this shit fixed." He's like, "Excuse me." I'm like, "I lived 12 years in Chicago. I say whatever the fuck I want."
Now you know what it feels like to be in a British heat wave.
Well, the big issue here.
Tell me about it.
Well, the
Tell me
big
about
issue. The big issue here is that we don't have air conditioning, and we got some of those units that have massive gas tank-sized condensation collectors, and my department has apparently been tasked with emptying them regularly. So, in addition to having no heat, I have to carry multiple gallons of water around just to keep what little space we can keep cool.
That just sounds
That
very
sucks.
not fun.
It's not, but it's temporary. They're already working on getting it fixed. They've been cutting up floors, they've been replacing pipes. It shouldn't be much longer before they're back up and running.
My place didn't get it fixed, so I almost started a riot and I got suspended. My first week at that job, I was an ass. And then after the first week, I'm like, what happened to the first week of you being an ass? Got the AC unit fixed, now get the fucking heater fixed. Because it was one of those days when it was like 70 degrees in summer, multiple days. And then not even a week later, it was like 40, 30 in summertime. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, yeah, I ain't putting up with this shit.
Don't blame you. Meanwhile, my June was quite the experience, as some of you haven't know already. I had the unfortunate news of having my grandmother pass away at the end of May. Yeah, so right at the start of last month, we wound up going up to her funeral, which was beautiful, to say the least. And of course, to say that I didn't shed a tear would be lying, of course.
Of course.
And then, just about a week after returning, my mother and I went off to Menorca for a week, which was definitely well needed. It was a great time there. Of course, there were times where it was humid, but it wasn't British humid.
That's understandable. And it's good to see you. You're doing okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, now, Blitz mentioned that he only had a limited amount of time, so real quick, I'm going to let him get through the Magic the Gathering news that he brought, and then we're going to resume normal.
Alright,
Sounds good to me.
I switched decks recently. I got rid of Renssary and I joined the Vampire side. So yeah, the ring was recently pulled. If my ankle wasn't fucked up and I didn't have to heat, like I dropped something on my ankle and I tweaked my muscle and they won't do surgery because it's state insurance. So if I would have showed up, I would have pulled a $1,200 card and I was. So I show up, I buy that song, the bad guy deck, and I pull a $5 card, and it's warped and bent, and I'm losing my. I'm like, they could tell me I'm losing my shit, and then the guy who pulled a $1,000 card, I'm like, hey, can you replace this card? I'm like, you know, I'm paying back your injuries. Like, I'm like, I make $4,500 every 2 weeks. You're not paying back my injury. I'm like, fine, fuck. But like immediately after the guy handed them that $1,200 card, they listed it online. The card shop took $200, and the guy took $1,000. Then the One Ring was pulled.
I heard the One
Yes, I
Ring is
heard
just
about
really
this
used
thing.
for OTK shenanigans, because you're just drawing a bunch.
Well, here's the issue with the One Ring. I should have picked up a copy when it was $18, and this is what I want to bring. This is the issue. There's 2 issues that I want to bring up, and this. One Ring, all copies of the One Ring are expensive right now. Well, Borderless went down to 50. I forgot.
Wasn't there only one copy out on the world?
No. There's the 001, and then there's the One Ring. And then it's funny.
I heard that the limited One Ring.
No. They okay.
1.3 million.
The one that was a 1-for-1 was written in Alphish language, and then the other ones I'm gonna post in. Where's the podcast chat? There it is. The other copies are like this. And it's funny, the non-borderless copy is worth $64, while the borderless copy, the non-borderless copy is worth $64, while the borderless copy is only worth $50. And basically, this card is indestructible. Okay, so the One Ring, indestructible when the One Ring is battlefield. If you cast it, you gain protection from everything to the end of the turn, which is cracked. At the beginning of upkeep, you lose 1 guy for each bird encounter. Tap. Put a bird encounter on One Ring, and then draw a card for each bird encounter on One Ring. So someone at my locals plays infinite mana. This speeds up their infinite mana deck.
Oh,
by a
good grief,
lot.
that's toxic.
Yeah.
That's actually toxic.
What, the One Ring or the infinite mana deck?
Yes.
The fact that it speeds it up.
Yeah.
Just in general.
I was gonna play at my locals last Friday, but the storm came in. And I'm like, fuck this shit. And immediately when I got home, the rain stopped, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do wrong now, God? I'm like, fuck. I wanted to play that night. And then I bought the, I'll show you what deck I bought. Lord of the Rings. Middle deck Earth set. Save picture. Turn that to a JPEG. That works. I love that I downloaded this small little app that allows you to switch your pictures from web to JPEGs. So these are the decks right now, and I got the villain deck, the one at the end, and I mainly just got it for reprints. And then with this deck, if I want to play it, I have to buy a $34 card, which says you can run 9 copies in any deck, and that's for any format.
Oh, the ring race?
It's an org. I don't know what it is, but it's stupidly expensive. But the main issue. Go ahead.
I was looking at the whole Bilbo thing, and I'm like, what kind of a Johnny level bullshit is this?
So
Also-
the Bilbo thing is if you have 110 life. I've seen people get up to that super easy. There's an infinite combo that you can make food tokens, and you can make infinite mana, and then you could do the Bilbo combo. I've seen someone get it done in 5 turns, and then I was sitting someone watching it playing it, and then they cracked the board, and they constantly got the board cracked, and by turn 21 they did the infinite combo, and I'm just sitting here like infinite combo shouldn't exist. Just like the infinite mana combo. This guy puts a giant ass dinosaur, infinite mana, infinite mana, infinite mana, and then he draws his card, and then he says, oh, I have this much mana, I'm going to divide the damage between you. And the commander, keep in mind you only have 42 life. And by the time he does this combo, keep in mind we're all at least 18 to 25 to 30 life or something. And then in this pool, we have a guy who has a commander that can send any card to your field. So he sent me a card that was goaded, meaning it had to attack. So I swung into the guy who beat us with infinite mana last week. He got down to 18 life, I got down to 18, I gained 7 back, and then 3 turns later he does his infinite mana combo. And I could have prevented this. But I got greedy with my mana and I thought he wasn't going to do it. Then there's the main issue about Magic the Gathering. Surge foils. Surge foils are the hollow version of the box topper cards. They're this ridiculous price. Like, hold on. The Party Tree Great Henge Surge Foil. So, this card right here, the Surge Foil, is $291. The Party Tree, which is also Great Henge, the Party Tree copy, since it's Lord of the Rings, is $52. You're paying almost $300 for a Surge Foil. Or you can get the original copies of the Great Henge for... The original copies for the Great Henge for 50, 52, and then 80. So basically, if you want a Surge Foil, okay, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money. And the fact that certain Surge Foils in this game are just ridiculous. And then there's a big complaint about how they package these things. People are pulling money cards from these precons, but they come bent and ruined, and it pisses someone off. Someone pulled a $1,000 card, and because it was bent and went down to 600. And then there's a manufacturing issue with Magic right now. There's an issue with quality control. It's not as bad as Konami, but it's gonna get worse if they don't improve it. Like, it's the way they pack things. It's the way that you guys remember the meme post when you guys would go get your lot art card and they would hand you a lot art card in 2 pieces. It's getting that bad in Magic the Gathering a bit too, with crinkles and all that shit. I've never seen a crinkled Magic the Gathering card since COVID started. That was never a thing before COVID started. And if it was like a once in a blue moon or a 1 in a mega trillion or whatever. But yeah. And my last thing to bring up about Magic the Gathering is, I'm just going to show future release dates real fast. Commander Masters, the collector box is going to be $225. Lord of the Ring collector boxes were about $450 after taxes. And this is coming out on August the 4th. Let me look up the rest of the stuff. MTG, release date. Not Commander, MTG release date. Release date's 2023. I should have had this pulled up, but I immediately joined without having it pulled up. MTG Rocks. fuck that. I'm keeping my ad blocker. So basically, release schedule. Verania, LEDRAIN is going to release September the 8th. So the pre-con will be on September the 1st. I mean, the sneak would be on that. Commander Masters, we're not having a sneak at our locals or an event at our locals, either or. And then there's the Doctor Who Commander decks, which drop on the 23rd. I mean, the 13th. Damn, I should have my glasses on. And then there's Lost Caverns. That's later this year. The main thing that everyone wants right now is Commander Masters. Just because that's going to be like, you guys remember Megatons and all that shit? That's basically every time a Commander Masters set or something like that drops, there's going to be a Lotus card reprinted in there. But other than that, it's been okay with Magic. Like, the community's better and the community's not as toxic as they say it is. I'm officially done playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Online and collecting it IRL. I only kept 1 or 2 cards. But, yeah, I'm just gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna piss a lot of people off. Magic has a better fan base than Yu-Gi-Oh! Minus the 2017 scene that led to some acts against kids. I'm not gonna go that far.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to look into that, look into it. It was bad. There was acts against kids at events, and you should know what I mean by that. If y'all listening.
Yeah, we get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well let's go ahead and take it into a different direction then.
Yep.
Resuming normal podcast procedures, I've got a few things here that I wanted to bring up real quick. First off, we all know that these online platforms that we're dealing with, YouTube, Twitter, and all that stuff, they're all breaking in the most unbelievably infuriating ways. But there is one thing that we can all agree on that we've been seeing in the news recently that should probably happen just because it'll bring some hilarity into the discourse. There's been a rumor floating around that Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk might be having a cage match.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
dear.
Lizard Man versus
Lizard Man
Space
to the win.
Man. Let's go.
I don't know who would win. We're dealing with a space alien and a lizard man, so, you know, it could go either way.
Well, the
Give
Lizard Man
it to
actually
Elon.
fights.
Poison, I think.
The Lizard Man actually fights, though.
The winner, Asteroid.
I'm pretty sure the winner's going to be us.
Yeah, we are the winners of the situation.
And the best part of all,
Don't
I
forget
just
to
heard
see
this the
two,
other night. Go ahead.
I was about to say, just because we get to see 2 egotistical prats duke it out.
Well, here's the
Well,
best part, though.
entertainment.
I also heard a rumor that Elon's mother called in to try to get the fight canceled.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that.
Oh no! Just for
whoa.
that, just for that, give Zuckerberg a chair and bash Elon's face in. Let that broad ruin our fun.
Okay.
Just make it
Uh,
a wrestling match. Make it
Clearly
a
clearly a
an
mama's
unsanctioned
boy.
match.
Now,
With Mark Cuban on commentary. That might work.
If I was hosting the event, I would rough up Elon multiple times before the event and just bring him out here in a wheelchair and just stand him up and make him get knocked out.
No,
Fuck
just
that
roast
guy.
both of them.
uh-huh.
I'd probably just mostly roast Musk.
Well, next on my
I'm
list
good now.
is... Well, next on my list is something more for the Tokusatsu stuff, but this is actually kind of important to me. I know not too many of us here are fans of Tokusatsu, aside from me and Reborn, mostly, but I'm sure all of us have heard of a TV show called Ultraman.
Yes.
Yeah, rings a bell.
Well, the giant dude with the bright-wide eyes and the white-ish
Oh, yeah,
spacesuit
him,
that
him,
fires
yeah.
lasers from his arms at giant monsters.
Yeah, him.
Well, they're dubbing a recent series of Ultraman called Ultraman Blazar, and one of the characters is named Captain Gento Hiruma, and from what I've been told, they have gotten the legendary voice actor Johnny Youngbosch to voice him. And that gives me all I need to know to want to give this show a fair shot.
Kid from Kid Icarus Uprising.
Oh,
We're talking. If you don't know who that is, he's the second Black Power Ranger that ever came to be. He was the voice of Vash the Stampede, Ichigo Kurosaki, Lelouch Free Britannia, Renton Thurston, Sasori and Shippuden, Jonathan Joestar, Kaneda from Akira. His list is a mile long.
wow.
I'm gonna ask this because I'm an idiot. Is he a dub in question? Because I have no idea. I'm an idiot with this.
It's a
Or sub because what language does he speak? What language is this in?
It's going to be
Japanese
a
or
dub.
English?
The show itself is Japanese, but it will be dubbed in English, and they got Johnny to voice one of the characters in it.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. I
Okay.
apologize.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, for people who've never heard of this stuff, it's going to sound like gobbledygook backwards with a lisp.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Might take a gander of it too.
If Johnny's involved, it's got to be interesting, right?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Now, keeping in with the entertainment value, though, I'm sure all of us know about the TV channel Adult Swim. Cartoon Network's miniature adult programming block, Adult Swim. They have added in an extra hour recently for nostalgic cartoons like Dexter's Laboratory, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Billy and Mandy, Ed, Ed and Eddie. It's basically a new version of Boomerang.
Oh, please,
Oh, wow.
Edit marathon right now. Season 2 through 4, and then don't go past that. If you can't do 1, if you want, but do 2 through 4. Kids will love it. They'll understand the good humor, and they'll have a good time.
Everyone deserves to see these.
Of course. I mean, I didn't grow up with them since, I didn't really have much variety in terms of TV, but I big ups.
Well, if you
want to...
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was about to say you continue. You first.
I was just going to say, well, if you ever get the opportunity to look into these shows, I highly recommend it. There's a list of old cartoons that are genuinely just golden, that deserve to be seen at least once.
I've watched a handful, but like a literal handful, but I do remember quite fondly what's New Scooby-Doo. That was a classic.
That is a good one. These shows were designed with a bit more of a different intention. They were... Well, there's too much to go into if I start talking about these shows individually, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But the last thing I wanted to talk about is actually kind of personal to me. Now, I've made it no secret that my favorite anime of all time is Air Gear. For those of you who don't know, it's the video game Jet Set Radio with tits. That's the easiest way I can describe it. They go over extreme sports, territory wars, definitions of what it means individually to be free, etc., etc. It's very deep-rooted in a lot of surprisingly interesting stuff, and then it devolves into your basic combat shonen anime, but it's still fun to watch. When that show aired, there was a small group of people who decided to bring it as close as possible to real life. It's called the Parts War Network. They had servers set up on pro boards and stuff. They've recently started up a Discord server, and they are back in action because there's a new product that's recently come out called Air Tricks, which is eerily similarly named to the Air Trex, which is the motorized rollerblades that they used in the show. Basically, these are strap-on motorized rollerblades that you can attach to your shoe, about as close to the Air Trex in the anime in real life, which means that Air Gear is a lot more realistic than we ever expected it to be.
Wait, you mean? You mean that stuff that they made for hipsters to walk faster?
No. You're talking about the double accelerated wheel thing. I'm talking about legitimate, electronically powered motorized rollerblades.
Could be for that. That I'm all for, but just because when I saw that, I was mad as all hell. Like them just making the ad that to show obvious hipsters just being like, you could walk faster.
I actually want to see that so badly, because when I saw it, I was like, you know what? I would get these just for science.
But for legitimate Air Gear, I dead ass could be for.
For those of you who are on my Gilded server, I actually have uploaded the English dub of the show on there, which is from 2006, by the way, so you know it's going to have fun dialogue. It's only 26 episodes, it's got a couple of OVAs that never got dubbed, and the show is fantastic. In my opinion. It's nice. It's just nice to know that it's about as close to realism as we can possibly get, and I wanted to give a shout out to the guys who run the server and the actual group community of extreme skaters, because I've been a fan of it ever since I saw the show. I felt like they deserved a shout out.
Yeah, that definitely deserves props
and praise. Yeah. Takes quite a lot of effort and dedication to do something like that, and to actually get that coming to fruition is such a big W.
Yes, it most certainly is. I'd like to think so.
I was about to mention during the cartoon area that I think recently we finally got the trailer for the newest season of Futurama.
Oh, right! Season 11's coming soon.
Yeah, I've yet to actually see it. Hold on, let me... There we go. Boom.
Well, there would... boom.
Boom. Pow. Already announcing coming to Hulu, yeah. This month, wow. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Oh, yeah. New season of Futurama
I miss
gets
seeing that
earlier
show, honestly.
announced than Husband Hotel ever gets released.
I don't know, but I don't know if...
No, I don't think they removed Amy.
Is still, probably.
They don't have a reason to.
Like, every character in
I don't think
the
so,
show
no.
should still be there because they made the crew. They literally made the crew. I don't get why we would get rid of them.
My sister will, I know my sister will really enjoy it because, she really enjoys that show.
It's a great show.
It is. Well, as it happens, I forgot something else. Zibeth had a couple of things he wanted to talk about, too. Forbidden Door 2, Money in the Bank, and Art Fight?
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. We can't talk about Forbidden Door. We can't. I am still mad that they couldn't get no young guys in there to wrestle a CM Punk. Get a Yota Tsuji in there. That man could go. All right, I love Kojima. Lariato, Kojima. Okay, I'm sorry. You have to watch the match to understand the reference. You have to watch the shoot and also the match to get the reference.
Well, Zibeth
will agree with me on this. It was good. Both shows were. They were really good.
About Money in the Bank, though, I think it's funny how the internet reacted because everybody wanted LA Knight to win.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, and then it was...
And you could arguably say that he was the right choice. But I don't think Damian Priest is a bad choice neither.
No, he's really good. It just sucks.
I think I can see proof why they choose Damian Priest to win the briefcase, because I think Seth will lose his title at SummerSlam to Finn, and directly after Damian Priest will cash in to steal Finn Balor the title.
If they do that route, then at that point they're just saying we're going to disband Judgment Day, because they had a good year and a half. I don't remember when they formed. That's that's understandable for a stable.
But Judgment Day never came through the crowd, and they felt like a joke always. When
Rhea's
did they get an important win as a faction?
But Rhea gets the wins, and Finn does his great work in the ring, and gets wins off of that too. Damian's is always great because who doesn't like a Damian Priest? That man has a voice that you wouldn't believe. He's just got I'll say this as a man that loves women. He has a sexy voice. And I trust that man with my life.
You should turn face again and make up with Bad Bunny so they can become a tag team. Let's be honest. Bad Bunny is a better wrestler than 90% of the roster.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see any lies in that.
But then I think that could be the case. I'm just happy the Usos beat Soa and Roman. That was great. That was
Especially Reigns eating the pin after 2 years. That was a surprise.
actually surprised. I thought it was Soa.
And
was
Heyman's
gonna
face
take it.
after that, like he innerly died that moment. That was
He
priceless
he
to it.
died. He went back in time when he got steam faced by Rikishi. He thought of that time. That's why.
But I don't understand why he still carries the all titles with him. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I don't. Maybe just because if I had 3 belts for just the price of 1 or 2. Remember, All Japan Pro Wrestling used to have the 3 belts for the 1 championship. I mean, I didn't question it. I loved it back in the 90s. And the 2000s, so they just combined all 3 like main belts together. I ruined it, really.
The black and blue belt aren't worth anything anymore. They are just a decoration.
Yeah, but if
introduced.
I mean, and then I'm just saying, if I could have 2 belts on my arm, I'm a badass. If I have 3, are you really gonna try to fuck with me? Like FTR had 3 belts that were tag team belts.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Heyman is the one who carries the titles around all the time. It's not
Hey, he's the wise man. If I had a wise man, I'm making him carry my belts. So I feel like I don't need to carry him. That's his job.
It's funny about the FTR thing because they're the current AEW World Tag Team Champions now, I believe.
Correct.
But when they had their multiple titles, they couldn't really get the AEW Tag Team titles.
Because they claimed it went the way it was. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland had it, and then they had their feud with the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed took it. The Acclaimed were too hot, and it wouldn't make any sense to kill the Acclaim's heat, which they did a month later, I believe, with the Guns, which was not. I mean, I like the Guns. They're actually good workers, and they give them like another 5 years. Oh yeah, that'd be an amazing tag team. Same with the Acclaimed. Give them like another a year or 2, and maybe sadly I have to say go back to being heel because it would help them more now. Then maybe after Billy retires, go back to heel because I would love to see it again. Them be heels again because they were still over even when they're heels. It would work. It's just FTR is one of the best working tag teams in the world, and that's coming from me, who loves my favorite tag team in the world is Guerrillas of Destiny, and I love both those guys. I love Tama and Tanga. They're so good. They don't get recognition because they don't wrestle more in America or under any other umbrella such as Ring of Honor and Impact.
Yeah.
But
we all know in our hearts.
Forbidden Door was great. I just think again they bring it. I love Tanahashi, but bring a Tanahashi from like 10 to 12 years ago. Oh, MJF was getting to work. He'll still win. MJF is still gonna get to work though, because Tanahashi 10 to 12 years ago. Oh, smooth as butter. Best work. One of the great workers in the world. Yes,
we all know. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Connor. Go ahead. I want to hear this one.
We all know by now who should truly be the AEW Tag Team Champions. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
No, stop it. Go sit in a corner right now with that statement.
You're hating me because I speak the truth.
If they become tag team champions, then I want Mark Briscoe to be the AEW champion. How about that?
Okay, then.
So Zivith, specifically, you wanted to bring up this stuff. Is there a specific reason why you were interested in talking about these? Did you get something specific out of it?
Yes, I wanted to talk about it, but I don't get the word here somehow. But it's okay.
Go ahead.
All right, well, what did you have for Forbidden Door 2? Let's start with that.
For Forbidden Door 2, I loved especially the match with Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. I mean, I'm a Kenny fan anyway, which made me sad that he lost again such a big fight. But it was an amazing match. Like, it was very close to 5-star, I think. Without the Don Callis bullshit, it would have been a 5-star match.
I can agree with that statement. That's it. I love Don Callis. when him and Kenny were heels. That was so good, but
Kenny Omega has some of the best entrances.
yes.
And I still
Yes.
say I see Kenny soon at WWE. The question is at Big event will he make his debut? Because let's be honest, he's too good at this point to be just indie wrestler.
And he's not an indie wrestler. Remember, he is the executive vice president of AEW, like Cody. And Cody only left because he kind of, and we all could be honest with ourselves, AEW kind of got outed for trying to be more of a, not an old school wrestler, but in a sense of, he tried to make storylines make sense where they
let's
went.
Be honest, someone like Kenny belongs on the grandest stage of them all. Don't you see it the same?
Yeah, but you have to remember, here's only two routes. Either you have to do an AJ route or do a Nakamura route. If he goes to NXT. If he does AJ, he's going straight to the main roster. That means he has to do it at the Royal Rumble or a day after WrestleMania, or if anything.
Yeah, I agree. I think SummerSlam this year is too early because close about it is All Out at Wembley Stadium, which is almost sold out just in the pre-sale.
Yeah.
Like they are about to get a new record for the crowd, which is amazing because everyone thought they wouldn't get even 20K together to buy tickets.
How many did they get ticket sales over again?
Almost 75K for now in the pre-sale.
Yeah, that's a lot of people in the stadium. They better make them happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I could see when someone big like Kenny Omega make his debut, then at Royal Rumble, and also wins it, that he directly gets a title match at Mania.
No, he can't win it. If he wins it in his first going, AJ didn't win in his first time. I think AJ never won.
Cody Rhodes won it actually in his first time.
Oh no, AJ did win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
He did win it, but he didn't win the Royal Rumble, and that was his first appearance. Which is, I think he lasted very long too. If I was correct, I don't remember. That was years ago. We all popped.
Official debut was at the Royal Rumble, and he won it.
Yeah, but Cody's been the Royal Rumble before multiple times. That was never his first Royal Rumble. It was his return Royal Rumble. He did a Cena or an Edge or not Triple H. Triple H didn't do that. I wish Triple H did. No, did Triple H win it the year he got injured when he tore his quad that year prior? He came back. He won it that year, I think. Back in 2002. Am I drunk?
Probably.
Hey, I'm straight edge. I think. I think he didn't. I think he did. He had to because it made sense, especially because Triple H literally was our. If you didn't hate Triple H, he wasn't. He was the heel of our generation. He was. So if you didn't believe me, you don't believe that.
Oh, I believe you. I've heard people talk about the infamous Reign of Terror.
No, that's not worse than Jeff Jarrett's Reign of Terror. God, give me fucking.
Yeah. Again, I did hear the atrocity that was Jeff Jarrett's Reign of Terror.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing on the list was Money in the Bank.
I mean, we talked about the main event already, but there was more. First off, I found it a good decision that they directly started with a ladder match to get the crowd pumped on for the rest of the night. And also that Damian Priest won it was a real surprise. Nobody expected. Like, I find it the right decision to give him the briefcase. I mean, LA Knight really deserves it. How he's over, but they wouldn't have any plans for LA Knight for the briefcase, and with Damian they now have a plan. And that plan is to split Judgment Day apart.
To be fair, I would say that LA Knight deserves a natural pipeline into becoming a champion rather than just getting a briefcase. So, in a way, WWE made the absolute correct decision on this one.
Plus, he has a jacket that's made of shoes of the champion, so LA Knight's fine.
Like he can get the US title from Austin Theory at any time, and everyone would be happy with that.
I mean, I would say go. No, because who's the IC champion right now? Because that would make me go like, ooh. Who's our IC champion? Gunther. Yeah, I would no. Don't put him against Gunther.
No,
Yeah,
Gunther
yeah.
wants to
That's
finish
asking
for
anytime
the
soon.
That's asking for him to die. Yeah, get Austin Theory. Don't put him against Gunther. That's asking for him to die.
Yeah, Gunther looks
They
like he
want
could cave in
Gunther
your chest with a
to
chop.
become the new record champions.
Yeah, I'd rather him take it from Austin Theory. Austin Theory he's young, he's good, he's naturally hated. He'll get his big day. Not yet. Just like wait until Roman might consider him being like I'm going part time. That's when he has to come in the picture. When Roman goes fully part time, he's there,
Yeah,
but he's an
Roman has to
active
lose
part time.
has to lose the title now at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
Or
Roman Reigns is an
people will
active
lose
part-time.
interest in the story, in his title.
like Brock Lesnar is an active part time. You see him every week, but he doesn't wrestle every week. Roman, he doesn't do this. He does the same thing, but he can cut his own promo. That's the key here.
Like, they can't really drag Roman's title run until WrestleMania 40 and beyond that, even when he got pinned now and looks so weak since the bloodline is not anymore. So he has to lose the title now.
But who's taking it? Because I don't think Jay's gonna take it, or Jimmy. I don't think
It will be
Sami or
Solo.
Kevin.
Solo will turn the next few weeks against Reigns. Just
He's-
mark my words.
Can it be Braun Breaker then? Can it be him? That'd be great. Let's just start calling
Honestly,
people
that would
fat
be a
too. That's
surprise.
what we'll have.
Yeah.
We'll have a new Steiner right there.
Yeah,
No,
I want Braun Breaker to be the Scott Steiner that the WWE wanted him to be.
She's like, who the fuck is Braun Breaker and Scott Steiner? I'm like,
I
you
know a little bit about wrestling because my wife is actually a bit of a fan, although she's more a fan of older wrestling stuff. But
So that she'll
I can
understand
I can at least keep up.
So that means you have 2/3 of a chance to understand what we're
By
talking
the way,
about.
why
But
is she never in our podcast? She would have fun here.
Because she's usually busy doing other stuff. She's running websites. She's doing her own thing. She's got her own stuff to do, and it takes up a lot of her free time.
she's a great woman. She's awesome. I have never met her. I just know she's awesome.
Now others have stuff to talk to, and I won't drag this too long, so I continue with Money in the Bank topic. What I found, the Diva matches, I don't have to talk much about them because they weren't honestly that great. Typical for WWE. And the ladder match had too much botches in my taste. Only good thing was that the joke group Damage Control is done too now, most likely. But the real surprise was, which no one expected, me included me, is that John Cena pops out of nowhere like WTF. And then he goes there and tells the crowd that there maybe will be WrestleMania in the United Kingdoms. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, that's a bit of news that surprised everyone.
Wait, what happened?
John Cena announced WrestleMania for the United Kingdom at Money in the Bank.
Oh, that's actually. Oh,
Yeah.
They can't. No. Hold on. Hold your
Imagine
horses.
that WrestleMania in Europe. I would book it.
I mean, you could book it, but how much? How do you think you're gonna sell on that one? Is it gonna be 2 nights or 1?
2 nights.
Probably
No,
2 nights.
if it's 2 nights, then I'm not gonna watch it. No, I can't. I can't do this anymore. Just give me a one long 8-hour show.
Became a
I'll take it.
permanent thing. It was introduced with the COVID era to give the fans more stuff to watch, and they made it a permanent thing since they made good numbers and money with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's all
for
for the
me-
better because who wants to
It
watch
is for the
a-
better, but for us Europeans, it sucks because the second night is from Sunday to Monday, where most of us must work. at Monday.
That'd
That
be
is
weird
true.
because that means if I'm watching it, I have to realize I have to do it a day early, or like somewhat a day, like kind of earlier. Damn.
Now,
Yeah.
I
what
was
was this art fight thing you were talking about?
Yeah, it started again this month. It's everywhere in Yuli. Where do you talk Yuli like it in English or you like? I don't know. I hope I say it right. It's like a very big art trade event where you get points for drawn pieces when you attack someone or someone attacks you. And there's also the friendly fire thing and defense thing, and there are every year 2 teams given in a specific team. This year it's vampire versus werewolves, and I must honestly say there were much better teams to pick from this year as vampires versus werewolves, because it feels so, how could I say, so 2009 era, like. But anyway, it's still a great team, don't get me wrong, and I choose Team Werewolf because furry and all.
Right.
Yeah. And I have drawn some pieces already. Yeah, but it's about art fight. I just got one defense, but it is otherwise I just hear from people thank you, and that's it, sadly. But I can understand them since I'm not a great artist, and yeah, maybe they don't feel like to draw back. I mean, I have to accept it.
I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes the art fight is in you, the art. Sometimes the fight is in the art. Sometimes it's both.
As
Like,
long as you
again-
tried your absolute best.
But don't be like that one meme with the frog. That meme makes me laugh every time I look at it.
Agreed.
Fair enough. Well, I think that's all the other topics that we have to cover, unless you had anything else you wanted to mention real quick, Zivith.
Did I wanted to?
Well, that was everything you had listed. I just didn't know if you had anything else you wanted to mention while you had the minute.
Oh yeah, of course. So, you know, last podcast when we talked about the shoe topic. So, I was in the shoe store because I had to get sandals for summer, and sadly they didn't have boots there, only normal heel shoes for the summer, and they really didn't fit my feet. Since they are also small built, when you know what I mean.
I understand completely. Women's shoes tend to be built for smaller feet, so that makes sense. It is possible you might have to go to a store that normally sells shoes for larger people, because that's where a lot of people go. The average male foot will be about a size 14 in women's shoes when they themselves are a size 10 or something. I don't remember where the translation is, but
yeah, like
Yeah, I most likely have to wait until winter when they have heeled boots again in the shoe stores.
Well,
Or
that's
Alice really finds something for me.
right. Well, it's at least good that you went out and made a genuine effort and tried.
Yes. But I still stay with my decision that I go that route.
Well, I'm glad you finally managed to make a genuine attempt. It feels good to be able to go out and try, even if you didn't necessarily succeed, to be able to go out and try and find what you're looking for. You'll eventually find it.
I will definitely start to wear heeled boots. Like, I can already see myself in them, and I'm more so the feminine type anyway, when you get what I mean, you know?
Hey, if you got it, flaunt it.
Like I'm more so the silent type and also very friendly type. That is more. I'm
Yeah,
not racist here or anything. I just say it's this typical feminine behavior from my side, of which I'm fully okay with it and also accept it. I want to be a nice guy.
Perfectly fine.
Yes.
All right, well, I think now's a good time to start diving into the card games, and right at the top
Oh
of
yes,
the
please. Dear Bellstar, dear Bellstar.
and at the top of the list is going to be the Digimon.
Okay. Well, as we pretty all know by now, when it comes to the English side of things, the 4th expansion set of Alternative Being is now out. I'm pretty sure we are all selling out on the Shine Greymon Ruin modes. Because I can say for everyone, because that's going to be like a staple in both purple and yellow decks. Because it's just that good. I mean, that ability to just hard reduce the DP for like 2 turns essentially is really strong. And at the best of times, being able to reduce by a full 10k is insane. But anyway, the set is now out in stores, so hope you get lucky with pulling that card, or you can just be like me and buy the singles.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Of course. This month we have the release of Booster Set 13 of Versus Royal Knight, a set that I, of course, have been very much been looking forward to because of all the support for the Data Squad / Savers theme cards, and of course the big buff to Shine Greymon, which will see it become the next big meta deck. Just so we can all say Marcus for game. I mean,
You're telling me this is, man, alright. Amazing.
yes. Yeah. I mean, we already have the BT12 Marcus, which can already attack and be treated as a Digimon. But now we have some other cards to help facilitate that in this upcoming set. And especially the burst modes, they're going to be insane. But of course, another insane part of the set will be the Royal Knights in this set, with its thematical Digi-Egg of Yggdrasil 76. I'm gonna say right here, this is gonna be one of the most expensive decks of all time, due to the fact that even the Digi-Egg is a super rare. It's like unheard of, I think, in this game.
Wait, what? Really?
Yep, Yggdrasil 76 is a super rare, and it's Digitama.
Holy crap! That sounds pricey.
It is going to be, and considering that we also have the two of the Royal Knights in the set, obviously Omnimon is going to be being one of them. Is going to be a secret rare, which is a 4 of, by the way. Yeah, this is going to be crazy pricey of a deck. So, have fun building it.
I'm gonna build it, and just to prove you wrong, I could build it.
Good luck.
You're welcome to try.
Don't even get me started on the alternate arts for all the Royal Knights, because they are gorgeous. Like, they are all just like... The background is like completely gold. Quite literally. It's beautiful. And honestly, that's really much it for the English releases. I will get into the Ultimate Cup just in a little bit. In fact, let's just do that right now, just to save some time, because the Ultimate Cup rule set just got a new ban list update for the months of August and September. So the following changes are: where Garurumon X is now unrestricted, which makes sense because Promo Wagurumon got restricted to 1, the most recent ban list, not just in not an Ultimate Cup, but the actual proper ban list for the game. Cards that are now restricted to 1 are Analog Man, BT12 Marcus Damon, Deathslinger, Hydramon, and Chaos Degradation.
Wait. Marcus is already at 1?
In Ultimate Cup format. It will take place in August.
Oh.
So it's a unique ban
rest in
list
peace,
exclusively
Shine
for the
Greymon.
event?
Yeah. You were saying?
I was just asking, is this uniquely a list for the tournament event, or is this the new list that we're all going to be using?
Yes. It's unique for the Ultimate Cup.
Okay, so but the regular game will not have Marcus limited to 1.
That is correct.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty baller.
Yeah, and of course the banned cards from Ultimate Cup going into August-September are Hidden Potential Discovered, Cerberusmon Werewolf Mode, and Death Exmon. Honestly, going into this ban list for the Ultimate Cup, it makes sense. Because aside from Beelzemon, Chaos Dramon, Machine Dramon are also it's also a really strong contender. And of course, the previously green decks featuring Hydramon, Bloom Lordmon, and the new degenerate toy of Quartzmon. So, I totally see the ban to Hidden Potential. And of course, everybody hates Chaos Degradation in Yellow Security Control, so rip Bozo. But yeah, for Marcus Damon from BT12, that is most likely a premature hit because they know that the Shine Greymon deck post BT13 is going to be cracked. So, in fact, many people are actually upset about the BT12 Marcus limitation and think that it should have been BT12 Shine Greymon instead. That should have been hit. Which I kind of get, since it has the strong effect of giving Marcus security attack +1 and an additional 3 KDP. So, yeah, I can kind of see what they're coming from in that regard. So, anyway, going into Japan, I already mentioned about the starter deck, so no need to mention that. Booster Set 14 Blastace is now out in Japan. Of course, the big one, being big theme, even being with 4 of the main Digidestined having their support. Specifically, Tai, Mimi, Joe, and I can't remember off the tip of my tongue who else got it. Who else got the love? TK, that's the one, yeah.
That makes sense.
They get 8. So, of course, they also get the Ace evolutions to boot, so being the new mechanics. So, Metal Greymon, Zudomon, Magda Angemon, and Lilymon. And additionally, with the introduction of support from the Digimon Seekers web series. So, Lugamon with its new and insanely cracked mega of Fenry Lugamon. Like, I saw a match online from a card game channel I'm subscribed to, which contained this as well as the corresponding deck from Seekers, being Commandramon with their new toy of Brigadramon. And I have to say, the new support for the new cards for Fenry Lugamon, Sons of Chaos, that new thing is pretty insane. So look forward to that, I must say. And for future product in Japan, we finally got reveals for expansion set 5 Animal Colosseum, which does contain a new keyword called Indomitable, which says when this card with Digivolution Digivolution cards is deleted, play this card without paying its memory costs. So that is quite big, and I I'm fearful as to how degenerate that's going to become. But not as degenerate as the fact that Metal Garurumon X is back in this set and more broken than ever, and that is going to be a cause for concern to the
I was
point
gonna
where
say that Indomitable thing sounds like it could end up devolving into bullshit quite quickly.
as long as it doesn't give the Digimon in general rush, making it attack the turn it's played, but that will probably be restricted to the higher levels. But I don't know. Maybe through inheritable effects. Who knows? But anyway, as I was saying, Metal Garurumon X is back in Animal Coliseum, and people are already complaining that it's going to get the deck nerfed once again. Probably going to be the final nail in the coffin to get Cool Boy banned. That's major copium though, but one can only hope. And as a final surprise, we actually have a limited pack announced with every card revealed all around Digimon Ghost Game. So literally, several cards from the anime have been announced and printed for this set. Of course, it will contain a few handful of reprints, but I am kind of interested with how this set is, especially with its with its only secret rare being a card called Quantumon. Can't remember all the effects, even though it's recently been limited, but I'm kind of interested. Even though the set is mainly centered around the support for the three protagonists, it's kind of interesting. Of course, it does contain the ace evolutions of each of them, so Siriusmon, Amphimon, and Diabitmon. An interesting one for Regulusmon, which kind of makes sense. There's a new Gammamon in this set, which is actually evil. Takes on the form where he's about to go berserk into Gus Gamma, so that does make sense.
Okay.
So overall, I don't know if we'll ever get these cards in English, but who knows? Whenever we do, if we do, I'm interested to see how it will play out. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about the card game at the moment.
I'm learning so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so I haven't heard any Pokemon news at this time.
Well, Unite News, what we get for the anniversary.
Anniversary?
Oh yeah, Mewtwo. Mewtwo's coming this month.
All over the place.
And funny enough, Timmy
Tour
already
protection.
buffered him twice on the PTS.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yep,
They really
and
are cooking.
when the official post was made about Mewtwo coming to Pokemon Unite, this was all I had to say, unfortunately. I mean...
Yeah, like, have you seen his
had to be done, to
PTS
be honest.
footage? In his Mega Evolution, he 3-shots a tank easily, and Timmy decides to buff him.
That's Timmy for you. Did you expect anything less? I mean, this is the same company that emergency buffed Comfey to becoming overpowered, right when Zacian was coming around the corner.
Yes, and when
Yeah.
Leon at Freshmon, who dies too easily and does almost no damage when the attacks don't hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where are the emergency buffs for Inteleon?
I'll tell you where they are. Your mum.
It's an original.
Damn, I got out. Okay, we better give back the word to Nanashi.
Well, it's funny you say that because you're going to give it to me, and I'm going to be giving it right back to Reborn because it's time for the Vanguard stuff.
There was a hot tag right there.
Oh! From what we've heard from the American release, we're gonna get the Graham Grace, Farvneil, and Orphis stuff in October. Thank you. I actually do have some interest in playing Ram Grace and Favneil. He was impossible to play until they released a card that literally just says, put me into Soul Tree, you Persona Ride. Because of the way his effect is worded, it's you can only run one of him in the deck. Whether it be in your ride deck or deck combined, you can only run one. So you can't Persona Ride. So they had to make a grade 3 specifically for him to let him do that, which in turn makes the deck actually playable.
I see.
He does Dark States things. If you have 10 or more soul, restand him with a crit, just bloody scary. And now that we have a proper ride line for him, we'll be able to get into what him being playable. And for Orphist, that's just for the next set that's coming out. That's coming out with Orphist masks. The masked form of Orphist, and I'm like, after what I've seen of all masks cards, I'm like, I'm very meh towards them. December, we're getting the Flight of Chakrabathi with the new form of Arena. That's supposed to say, hey, mask units, fuck you. Hey, Dragon Tree, fuck you too. One thing that kind of scares me right now, we're getting Shiranui and Luard.
Yeah, you mentioned that anytime Luard comes up, you get nervous.
Yes, because usually Luard ends up being so busted they need to reboot the entire series again, and Vanguard can't afford another reboot. And Shiranui is, I'm going to take your monsters and punch you in the face with them.
Oh, right, it's the Dominate thing, basically.
Yes, the thing with Dominate was you either played nothing or got punched in the face with your own cards.
Yeah, with a name like Dominate, it was kind of easy to figure out what it was going to do, but what it ended up doing as a direct result was kind of stupid.
Yeah. Like, hey, I dominate everything on your field, and it has a crit. So you end up in guard or die situations because of dominate, which kind of scares me because Dragon Empire's getting stuff that lets them draw a little easier. And one of the big things with dominate is that they don't have a very good hand size due to all their costs being a discard. And giving a deck like Dominate draw is scary and problematic. Luard is going to be getting a outright Pot of Prosperity, like the Vanguard equivalent of Pot of Prosperity. Because there's an order in Keter, that's Keter Sanctuary, that says, check top 3, call 1. And then there's a dude that literally just says, you play the order that turn, draw. Also, this September, I will be playing Vermilion. There's no argument about this. Like, as soon as I get everything for RDA, I will be saving up to buy a playset of Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion.
Makes sense.
Perfect sense.
Yeah, like. Also, we're gonna get a quintessential quintuplets, and I have a mixture of nervousness.
I can't say I blame you for being nervous, honestly.
Yeah, because they have a crest that basically just says "Play White Schwartz."
Yeah.
That just says continuous. You can't ride a non-Five Sisters card, and your order zone becomes memories. If a non-Five Sister card placed in your memories, put it in a drop anyway. Soul Blast 1. Look at the top card of your deck equal to the grade. Pick a five sisters, put it in your memories. and the rest go to the bottom. If you pick a unit with the same name as a card to memory, you can call it to rear guard instead of placing it in your memory. I kind of feel like this is going to build up very quickly. And all the grade 1s have the same effect for each quintuplet. Where if you get the crest, and if you have 3 different quintuplets in your memory, they get shield +5. None of these are actually going to be used in the ride deck,
Probably not.
so you're just going to ignore that. The grade 2 for Dragon Empire says, when you ride up from her, you put a quintuplets card from the top 7. You're going to hit something. And during your turn, if something died, she gets +5. And if there's 5 or more sisters if there's 5 or more different quintuplets in your memory, she gets +10 instead. This is not once per turn.
Dear.
Huh.
She's going to get big.
Completely fair and balanced, as all
Indeed.
things should be.
Oh no, I haven't shown you the 3 yet for Dragon Empire.
Oh, Lord.
Oh boy.
The 3 says the same thing as the 2. When she's on Vanguard, look at the top 7, pick 2. 1 goes to hand, 1 goes to memory. If you have 6 or more quintuplets in your memory, they have to guard with 2 cards every time you attack.
Right.
This is not for her. This is not for rear guard. This is for your whole field.
Bruh.
Jeez.
She swings. She punches a rear guard in the face.
I ain't gonna sugarcoat it.
Like, just imagine just the waifu just hitting the dude into the face of the bouquet and they die.
Yeah.
I think there's only one phrase that can sum that up incredibly well. That's a huge bitch!
Fact. And you pick one of your 5 sisters, and during that turn, she gives herself and a 5 sister the killed unit's power. If you couldn't kill anything, they get 10k outright. And note that you still have to guard with 2 or more. So their orders for each one are different, but they pretty much do the same thing. You play it if you have the grade 3. You pick 2 5 sisters from your drop, put 1 into your deck and the other into your memories. If you pick more than 1, apply this effect. 3 or more, kill something. You didn't kill something, draw. 5 or more, unflip 1. 7 or more, you pick your Vanguard. Your opponent cannot perfect guard, nor can they play blitz orders. So not only that you have to guard with 2 cards, if you have 7 or more, that's good game.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when this unit is placed on rearguard during your main phase, if you have 5 sisters, look at. Yeah, there's also each sister's ride line is going to have stuff that accelerates the your memory count. This is less a chrono jet. I do whatever the hell I want.
Clearly, yeah.
And more like if you play the long game with them, you're going to die.
Sounds about right.
Like the longer the game goes out, it's closer to welcome to die. And the summer version is when she's put on rear guard, you have the grade 3, Counter Blast 1, recycle a quintuplets card from your grave to the bottom of your deck. Kill something. If you have 5 or more quintuplets cards, draw a card. And we are also getting the Dark States version. The Dark States one is if she's ridden from a grave, same part. This angers me because you're gonna hear me read something very similar. When your 5 sisters does not hit, it gets +5. If there are 5 or more, give it +10 instead of +5. And this is what the Dark States one does. If there are 6 or more 5 sisters in your memory, she gets a crit.
Once again, fair and balanced.
Absolutely.
And if her attack misses, Counterblast 1, stand her, she gets, but her crit and drive are sent to 1.
Eesh.
And I'm like, motherfucker, this is Dragonic Descendant. Like, this is literally just Dragonic Descendant. Can Dragon Empire get a restanding Vanguard already?
Okay.
And her accelerate thing is if you have 3 or more 5 sisters in your memory, she gets power 2k during both players' turns. And the grade 2 helper, and if you have the grade 3 recycle when her attack misses, and if you have 5 or more, draw. Basically, this is just V-Series Descendant. And the order would make anybody in Dark States jealous. Because it's a free resurrect if you have 3 or more. And if you have 5 or more, you unflip. And 7 or more, your front row, all your rear guards in the front row get +15.
That's significant.
Yeah, that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this deck can't run out of... The Dark States version can't run out of Counterblast. Because they're going to have a kitty that says Purple Jewel Beast Amethyst when they're in the rear guard or guardian circle, when like the Garnet one I told you about. When she's on rear guard, unflip 1. This
Gotcha.
fixes so many decks Counterblast problems. The only sad part is you could only run 2. That's literally the only problem. You could only run 2 because they're only, like, the 3rd and 4th ones won't work because they're all going to be in your right deck.
Okay, so was that all the news, or?
Yeah, pretty much just the quintessential quintuplets, because we don't have the other 3 yet. Probably in August, I'll probably tell y'all about the... Oh wait, the Stargate one. The Stargate one is literally just, put 2 cards back into your hand, call 2, and they get 10k. I'm like, hold up, that's just Bermuda Triangle. What? Bushiroad, are you trying to mess with me right now?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Other than that, we don't know the one for Stoicheia yet. Stoicheia and Lyrical.
Well, when you figure it out, be sure to write it down for the next one.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'll go ahead and go through the Weishwartz stuff very quickly because I know Ori doesn't have a lot of time left. So,
Thank you.
it's fine. I just wanted to make sure that we can at least get to the YuGiOh stuff before you have to take off, you know?
Awesome.
The Bushiroad Springfest is officially over. The last tournaments took place in Vancouver, BC on June 4th, which the winner was a 3-team Danmachi Saikano and Sword Art Online Alice Silica build, and you're going to hear that name come up a lot. June 11th's winning 3-player team, which was in Sydney, Australia, had Hololive, specifically the Kanata Marine player, Kaguya-sama, and Sword Art Online Alice. In Zwolle, Netherlands, on the same day, there was a 3-player team of Saikano, Tokyo Revengers, the Pa Chin version, and Sword Art Online Alice. On June 18th in London, UK, the winning team was playing Seven Deadly Sins Escanor, the Quintessential Quintuplets, and Sword Art Online Alice. And on June 25th, in Singapore, the winning team was playing Adventure Time Princesses, which is not the build I play, the Kaguya-sama, and the Quintessential Quintuplets. So, probably going to see some hits on SAO in the near future. I'm just saying. And they've already started announcing the matchups for the Bushiroad Championship Series getting ready to take place this September through December. They've got about 10 dates listed. I will drop that later so we can save some time. And as far as new Weisschwartz product, Avatar The Last Airbender is officially out and available. I've seen everything that it can do. It has cards for literally just about every character that matters. The only one that they don't, and it really upsets me, is the Cabbage Man.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Now he is represented in the game though. He is represented in the game. He is represented in the game though. They gave him a value pack where he and his cabbage are the faces of sleeves and a deck box. They gave him a value box in its place.
It doesn't fill the void.
Is this going to be like the Weisschwartz equivalent of the rats or the shadow dragons from Buddy Fight, where you could run as many cabbages as you want?
I was hoping for that. We were all hoping for that. And then the Cabbage Man would come in and throw them. Who cares? We wanted a cabbage card. But they've also officially released the Review Starlight Re-Live pack as well, which is a support set for the Review Starlight pack we already had. And they have confirmed release dates for Ari Fureta from Commonplace to World's Strongest, which is confirmed to come out on November 17th. I've still never heard of this show. I need to look into it.
I have. It's fire. Go watch it.
I'll be sure to. Guilty Gear Strive has been confirmed to come out on December 15th. Spy X Family has finally been confirmed to drop on January 26th, which is next year, and they're going to give it a Meister set, which basically is a deck box, sleeves, playmat, and 10 value packs, I believe it is. I'll have to double check on that later. And Chainsaw Man has finally been confirmed to get an English release on February 16th. And now we can finally dip into the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Gosh. Here we go.
Sorry
again.
I took so long with the Vanguard.
It's fine. This happens sometimes, but where Ori has a limited amount of time, I want to make sure we can get to him as quickly as possible because I want him to stick around and give us his valuable contributions to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff as well, you know? Now, first off, the only real news as far as Yu-Gi-Oh! In general is that over there in Japan, they're getting a fully supported English copy of the TCG. Up to now, they've basically only ever been allowed to use the Japanese version for obvious reasons, but now they get an English copy.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Wait, English copy of what again? Exactly?
Of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Really? They play the English version, like, of our cards?
They're going to get an English version of our cards, yes.
Wow, that's interesting, actually. Pretty
Yeah, it
interesting.
is. It's kind of neat.
Indeed, yeah.
Which, it means that if we go over there, we don't have to learn Japanese just to play their card game. We will have to learn it to speak the language, so we're halfway there.
Indeed.
Well, they also can speak English very good, so there's nothing to worry.
Cool. Alright, well, there's a list of stuff to go through with Master Duel, and we're gonna love this. First off, they added a new feature called the Card Report, which tells you the percentage of how often you see the card and how successful the deck is that uses the card. And I personally find it incredibly obnoxious and intrusive. It ruins an otherwise perfectly fine view. If you want it, fine, but I don't like it.
Also,
I
Maxine
think
has the
this
highest
feature
amount of-
was introduced for people like Decade for their streams and stuff, where they want to explain things and want to show things.
Perfectly
Because I love
fine.
it when
Sorry, go ahead.
it when the game is altered to suit the niche select group of more competitively minded players. It works so well for Overwatch 08.
Oh,
Frick
God, that.
Activision. All my homies hate Activision.
Oh, who doesn't? Who doesn't? So, they've released a new pack, Climax of the Showdown, which, ignoring everything else, the only real reason people care is because it imports the Bestials, and as we are aware, it imported the Bestials with the two most important 6 stars at 1 apiece immediately.
I literally pulled both of them on my first 10 packs. No, better yet, I pulled one of them as a 2 twice. I pulled one of them twice.
Oh,
Just
that
to
had
add
to
insult
hurt.
to injury.
That had to hurt.
But like, yeah, I'll take that, I guess. But thank you for the free Ultra Gems.
They've also had a bunch of events come and go, some of which are still here. The Tryout Duel Rental Competition, which let you use Dogmatica, Springen, and Abyss Actor decks. Then there came the Legend Anthology Academy, which lets you play combination decks of Armed Dragon and Neos, Sacred Beast and Yubel, and Dinosaurs and Cyber Dragons.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Double pill everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
How does that even work?
I don't know.
It doesn't. Just double peel the Cyber Dragon into Ulti Conductor and go from there.
My guess is they saw, God, what was the name of that? The Inzector Agents deck years ago and just assumed that it kind of worked that way now.
What?
Oh my gosh.
What kind of Celtic mode? I'm gonna lose my mind today, aren't I? Well, granted.
Well, it's going to get worse before it gets better. They also released a Synchro Festival, which gave you trial decks of Goatee, RDA, and Ice Jade.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up, my ears perked up. What?
Yeah, one of the decks they let you test run in the Synchro Festival was RDA.
I am kind of included.
They also
Meanwhile,
Go ahead.
I was just about to say, meanwhile, I was just playing Guardians in there with a limited Willow.
Nice.
No, not nice. But I totally get it. Willow is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what else can I say?
Mm-hmm.
Then came the Tryout Duel Build-A-Deck, which was kind of cool, because they let you rent out a bunch of dice roll coin flip cards.
Gambler's dream right there.
Basically,
I
Joey
am
Wheeler
apprehensive.
and Sartorius had a field day with that one.
Just like how they did in just like how Sartorius had a field day in Master Duel and Duel Links when his deck was broken.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Rest in peace.
You won't be missed. Even though I don't play Master Duel, Duel Links. There.
Yeah, I don't either, but
I
it's
need to
still
get-
funny to
I
see.
need to get back on the links.
I mean, if you sit down and think about it, Shirin Nui was hit on their ban list when it was first released.
Huh.
Just, it's funny. Let's see. They had a couple of ban lists come out. One that's already taken effect, where they limited the Fluwanderies and M-Pen, Eradicator Epidemic Virus, and Tearlament Sulik, as well as semi-limiting Sprite Jet, Swap Frog, and Branded Fusion, and unlimiting Metaverse, which was a fantastic choice to make after they banned terraforming.
Hmm.
And of course, Yatalok is still inhaling the copium and thinking that will get Mystic Mine unbanned in Master Duel. It will never happen.
No.
Right.
No.
No, don't get me started with that.
Yeah, let's
I
not.
literally told him to stop the cap.
So, and as it happens, they've already released a new ban list, and it's an emergency ban list that goes into effect on July 13th, that banned Silva, Warlord of Dark Worlds, and Branded Expulsion. Now, I wonder what that could be for.
Dark World stuff.
Well, at least
I want that. I want that
Duel doesn't have to do.
like now. Because one of the big things I'm always gonna say, Silva needs to get. I'm okay with Dark World. I'm just not okay with Silva shredding your hand turn 1.
Yeah, the Silva hand loop
that's
is a problem.
That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, thank goodness
Yeah.
they killed the Dark World hand loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially considering that Master Duel is best of one for some
Yeah.
oddly reason.
Yeah, not even a rematch feature, Konami. Not even an offer to rematch. But they also released a new solo mode, Ally of Justice.
Yeah, have fun playing with one of the worst decks in the game.
I was gonna say, have fun with the
MVT showed the absolute reaction of freaking with what was it, Ally of Justice, true disgustingness and agony.
Basically,
Yeah.
the second most racist archetype in all of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Sure,
Yes.
let's go with
The most
that.
racist being Adventurer.
Oh, yep.
Speaking of trash archetypes, Ally of Justice deck for the trash arc.
What?
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. Ori has a show where he has trash decks duke it out with each other, and Ally of Justice is definitely up that alley.
Yeah.
It could be.
And didn't they just unban Gen X Ally Birdman a list or two ago?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Birdman was never banned.
Unlimited
just
now. It's
limited.
unlimited.
Right.
was,
But isn't he now
yeah,
at 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gen X might actually have Ally of Justice. Gen X might actually have some play here.
You're saying if they have any in the first place?
Hey, some's better than none.
I guess.
And the last thing on the Master Duel list is the new Duel Pass is officially in effect, and your prizes include the Springens icon or the Psy-Frame Gamma Mate.
So
I also
basically,
heard there was a model kit of Zeus.
Oh yeah, there's the model kit. Just like how you can buy Gundam figures, you can buy model kits, and they made one of the Zeus Xyz.
that is epic.
Awesome. Finally,
And then along
model
came
kits
Zeus.
of monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh. That'd be amazing. I wish we did more of those. Hopefully.
Now, getting into the actual card game, Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge is officially out and available. I still need to take a look and see what cards it comes with, but there's probably going to be some interesting reprints in that. And as far as new information and new cards coming out later, we still haven't gotten an actual official release date for Deck Build Pack Valiant Smashers in America, but we did get some confirmations on what the archetypes are named and an individual card of each. The archetypes are named Memento, Centurion, and Valmonica. Now,
Centurion 101 with Kid Icarus music.
Of course. Now,
Has to be done.
Now, Memento, look, here's the weird thing. Memento is such a mismatched name. It doesn't make sense that they would call it. It's a gigantic demonic rainbow-colored skeleton, and they named it Memento. It doesn't make sense to me. Centurion makes perfect sense. It's a little dude in a mech suit.
No, you wanna get into somewhere weirder? Watch how it's gonna be like a water zombie.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, what?
We're talking about the new archetypes for Valiant Smashers, and we're just predicting what they're going to be.
What do they look like again? Because like I know one's a waifu in a mech
One
suit.
of them is going to be a pent deck.
Probably. Well, like I was saying, Memento is this massive-looking skeleton demon covered in rainbow colors, which is such a mismatch. I'm hoping it's a mistranslation. Centurion, which is this cute little waifu in a giant mech suit. And Valmonica, which looks like Dream Mirror 2.0.
So it's going to be Dream Mirror, but playable this time.
We can only hope. I'm just saying that there just happens to be two characters right next to each other that look exactly the same, except polar opposite in terms of their color schemes, which is something, you saw in Evil Live Twin, Dream Mirror, things like that.
You wanna bet they're gonna be scales?
Oh, if they turn out to be a pendulum deck, I'm actually gonna be a little disappointed.
Not that I blame you. and I know a certain YouTuber who will go nuts over it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to
Yeah.
say his name, but it
But-
rhymes with
They believe in our
Griff-
Lord and Savior
Hey,
Zark.
Griff
Ah,
Yanning,
yeah.
I think.
It's fine. New products were announced recently. The 2-player starter deck is coming out on October 27th, which seems to be 2 44-card decks and a scripted dual comic book that you can follow that basically teaches you how to play through a scripted game, which is kind of cool.
That's amazing.
We've never had
Yeah,
something
it
like that
really is.
before.
Japan has
The
had
only
this many
scripted
times.
we've ever seen were stuff from the official actors at YCS.
Which is fine, but that doesn't really teach you how to play so much as just to be a theatric way to watch someone else play the game.
Even still, it's a lot of fun to see.
Oh, it is. It is. Especially
Yeah,
considering some of the people
I
they've gotten in
mean,
the past.
thing you can learn out from is how
Yeah, they
to
finally
write
got
your own
James
scripted
actor
rules.
last time.
Okay, hang on. What were you saying, Zibeth?
I said you still learn something how you can script your own words.
Oh, yeah. Now, next is another product they've announced called the 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection. It's dropping on November 3rd, and it's going to have a slew of valuable reprints. We're talking Ash
yeah.
Blossom, Nibiru, Valor, Imperm, Barone, Boral Savage, Egyptian God Slime, Pot of Prosperity, Triple Tactics Talents, Forbidden Droplet. This is the primo pack that we need.
All of them are
And
gonna
all
be
in
short.
What they did with
rare.
Dual Devastator?
No, it's 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection, is what they're calling it.
Yeah, and all the cards you named are most likely short printed. Now we
Yeah.
need to equal
As
now.
I said, yeah.
Probably, but they also said that some of these are going to be in lower rarity than others. I think they said that the Barone, Boral, and Egyptian God Slime are going to be Ultra, and Pot of Prosperity, Talents, and Forbidden Droplet are going to be Super or something?
I actually need Droplet.
I think we all do.
I've already got my playset of God Slime, so
Couldn't
I
read that
need
upstairs.
yeah, I need Dark Ruler No More for RDA. But
Well, that card's
everything
dirt
else-
cheap. They've got common for that.
true.
Now, here's the big one that I'm actually kind of excited to talk about. Age of Overlord. We've officially gotten a release date of October 20th in America.
Ooh, yes.
And they and the stuff that they have been announcing is fantastic. The Zark cards, the Scattered Visas support, except for that goddamn Veda pendulum. That thing can suck it.
Fair und balanced.
Yeah, that pendulum is weird.
Yeah, the circumstances for its effects to go off are really complicated, but if it goes off, it just feels it makes you feel
Like
terrible.
you practically won the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
The
no.
new Horus archetype is fantastic, and it technically supports old Horus, but you know.
So everyone's
yeah.
using
Rank-
it for.
They're gonna change the name when it comes to the
generosity.
States. Watch.
Probably.
I've
Probably.
already seen people use it with Zawaldo.
I can't say I'm surprised.
It's,
Yeah,
it's, a,
and I'm
it's
trying-
an adorable rank 8 deck at best.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying it out with Winged Dragon of Ra.
How's that going?
It's something.
That's about as much as I expected. The new Vanquish Soul cards look pretty good, but the new Transcendosaurus, is that its official
Transcendrake.
name again?
And Zendrake.
Well, its English name.
Transcendosaurus.
Thank you.
It's
yeah,
That sounds
Transcendosaurus.
really confusing.
Yeah, tell me about it. I was expecting it to be Transcend Dinosaur. That flows off the tongue. Their new
Much
Link,
better.
the new Link 3 they gave the T-Drake, let's just call it that. The new T-Drake, Link 3, is kind of bad. And
I like it.
the new support they gave to New Vey, the new Pendulum, it makes use of that old fusion pendulum that came out a set or two ago that has no place in this game.
Yeah, like that's actually still in my. That's still in my book.
It came out of nowhere. I'm not complaining. I like that. I mean, they already gave Hungry Burger a home. Why not give this random fusion pendulum one too?
Like,
Yeah.
Hungry Burger needed a home.
Absolutely.
He's been just been chilling around advertising Burger King for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Let's see. They also announced new Ogdoadic support, which has an extender boss monster and a token generating spell. I'm actually experimenting with that in Aliens, and it's giving me some mixed results. It's more of a convenience thing than actually necessary.
There's also a handful of new support for Nemluia.
Nemlaria?
Nemlaria.
Yeah, the new continuous
Yeah,
trap,
Nemlaria.
yeah.
Yeah, which is very solid, I must say.
Yeah, but Nemorelia seems like it's very set play oriented. You have to do like a bunch of things correctly. Pray nobody negates your extravagance and your prosperities.
Well, I mean, they still pay the cost, so in the end, they get what they want. But they also announced new Watt support, which I went on about this in the pre-show. I'm not going to repeat it here, but the new Watt support has heavy stun implications, the new tuner that summons itself from hand, the new synchro that pulls another synchro from the extra deck, and the new continuous spell that stuns lanes. Like, am I playing Watts or am I playing Mech Knights?
It gives a deck the better identity than anything.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I like that. I'm glad. And the way that they worded the tuner, it can be searched off of Watt Cobra, played out of the hand, and then immediately synchro summon during the battle phase. It's a battle loop. I love it. It's fantastic.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And of course,
I like to legitimately call Watts Lil Jon the deck.
Now, what were you going to say, Ori?
There's your other eye of interest with the new Shinobird support.
I was actually going to get to that last, but yeah, they gave us 2 new 4-star rituals that changed their names to match the big 8-star rituals. They search on summon, they tribute themselves to search twice, and they both...
Hello, Demise and Ruin. How's it hanging?
That's what we were talking about, yeah. And if they're banished, they come back during the next standby phase. There's just so much to work with. And not to mention their field spell is fantastic.
Yeah, it sets a weird trap from your deck.
Yeah, it's the Milky Way trap. It's literally designed to work with the rituals, but they didn't include the name Shinobird, so it was supposed to be like generic, I guess. It's so weird. Technically speaking, you can use it in in End of the World rituals too, because of the way it's implicated. But here's the best part about that field spell, though. Both of its effects are soft once per turn and soft twice per turn.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that's a translation issue, because if it's not, that can have some seriously fun play. And not to mention, it pushes summons out of the deck.
Dang.
Yeah, spirits are eating good tonight. When that stuff got announced, the Shinobird Spirit server got like 50 new members in the span of an hour.
Also, it recurs either a spirit or ritual that's banished or brave too. That's amazing. Recur build. That's good.
It's amazing. But getting back to
the deck is finicky with its techniques, but once it gets rolling,
it's so hard to stop.
Yeah, it's like a freight train.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Let's see. Getting back to the list, they've also announced a new Gaia fusion, which apparently requires one of the Synchro Gaias. It's
a new one,
it's a level 7. I was thinking about
it's a new one too.
Yeah. The equip spell Angel Ring, which has a non-activating ability to negate spells, which means we finally have a generic Super Poly out.
Which is only going to be played in Inferno Bowl.
Oh, probably. Let's see. The Nemlaria support
also
we
with
talked
the new
about.
Gaia fusion.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. Let's see. The semi-generic Baphomet fusion, which requires 2 Beast, Fiend, and/or Illusion monsters. I don't see anybody playing Super Poly for that.
No, it requires 2 monsters of different types.
Right, like I said, 2 of this, that, and/or this.
which makes it excellent support for tri-brigades.
I guess. Yeah, technically. Then there's... Oh, God, we have to talk about this. The Diabella Star and Tainted Treasure spell trap archetype.
Yes, I waited for
Yeah.
That new
God.
one, the new law archetype.
I am 99% sure this is gonna be a new lore thing too. A new lore, archetypes.
Yeah. It's
A
already
separate
still...
lore thing. My God.
It
Yeah,
is.
In my
I'm thinking that
eyes,
too.
I think Konami just wanted to make an archetype that makes Bonfire look really good.
And there she is, the new Boobo waifu of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way,
Yes,
she's
I
going to
already
be
fell in
the
love with
ace
her.
monster of the protagonist of the next Yu-Gi-Oh anime because of the stats. Good night.
Could
Yeah,
possibly.
it could
Um,
possibly be.
and then, of course, as you were talking about a moment ago, the Snake Eye archetype, which is a Fire Pyro 1-star archetype called Snake Eye.
Yeah.
And it's basically Valance frogs.
Yeah.
That's all it
And they're
is.
like what? And they have like a boss monster that's like
You're
Snake Eye
not wrong.
Flamebird Dragon with rival stats 3,000 attack, 250 defense right there.
I think
Rival
now
stats.
rank 1 monster somehow become playable.
It might happen, honestly. It wouldn't surprise me. And the last thing on my list as far as new Yu-Gi-Oh stuff is they've officially announced the next core set, even though we're still not even halfway through with the current one that's being revealed, called Phantom Nightmare, which is giving everybody Yubel support vibes.
Also,
Yeah.
Phantom Knights.
Phantom Knights if we're lucky.
You know, I have a feeling that it's more so going to be support, or more so retrains for Panics monsters from Duel Monsters.
Oh, maybe. I mean, if we got playable versions of Castle of Dark Illusions and whatnot, that'd be kind of neat.
Amateur
Yeah.
League
What would
is
be
in-
nice if they made the
in
castle
Yu-Gi-Oh!
an
and-
outright field spell.
Maybe. No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, what were you saying, Zivith?
I said Amateurs League you win.
Yeah, tell me about it. And Stormbrighter when?
Dude, we have a lot of anime archetypes that still need to be released.
Well, I will tell you this:
Oh,
if we
yeah.
get,
Tell me about it.
if we
Tell me
actually,
about it.
yeah, and if we actually get Armados Legio, I will probably play that over Gradius ships, purely because the deck looks genuinely fun, and I want to abuse Link spells and laugh in Pendulum players' faces for having 4 zones to play out of, for free.
They will never print Judgment Arrows, though. Let's be real.
Now, hang on.
Yeah, it's too
They literally
broken.
They
have
have
a
to.
card
It's like
in their archetype that searches the spell.
And it becomes a link thing too.
But
I mean,
do we
there-
wanna
Just-
bet that Fire Striatu gets banned next because of Snake Eye?
Actually, not because of Snake Eye, but because of the new volcanic support. There's a possibility they might hit the barrier statue fire.
Yeah, I mean because of Flamback Dragon, because he can get it out in the opponent's turn.
It's entirely possible. Not to mention Ties of the
Again.
Brethren still exists, and volcanics don't need anything more than a single normal summon to burn the opponent and then hit it with ties. Who cares?
I was
Yeah.
going to say, I'm actually hoping for all the rest of the barrier statues to get banned because,
Yeah,
as
all
I
of
said
them
in an
need to
earlier
go.
episode, they all do the exact same thing but for different
Like,
attributes.
if Konami really goes one day to release Amateurs Legio, then they have to ban the Earth statue.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, all the barrier statues should probably eventually go. And while I'm not a huge fan of the idea of waiting for them to become problems, that's probably the logic they're just going to use. And that is all the Yu-Gi-Oh! News that I have.
Oh, shout outs to Jessica Robinson
Yes,
for
shout-
winning
Oh, yes.
Euro WCQ.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Cliff
cool.
Yeah,
Richardson
of course,
haven't
yeah.
taking the win
that
twice
clip
in a
where-
row.
Yeah, of course, that clip where Step 5 passed Labyrinth play, and I think she then activates Feather Duster for GG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a good
well.
ending.
I'm gonna head off now. Been great being here as always.
Glad we could keep you here
Yeah.
until the very end, man. Thanks for stopping by.
No problem. Take care, y'all.
Take care.
Tra.
Okay, well, we managed to get through all the card game news and whatnot. Does anyone have anything else to add to the show before we call it the wrap up?
Actually, yes. Some Tokatsu related shenanigans.
Oh, Tokusatsu. Okay.
The Gates movie. Normally, I'm not a fan of repaints, but I can live with dark gates, with cross gates.
Yeah, you know what? I've seen what you're talking about. The main character's suit has basically just been taken and painted at the opposite colors, like a is it a Kurum Reshiram kind of ordeal, basically?
Yes.
And it looks pretty good.
Yeah. They just repainted Lone Wolf Vulcan on the top.
Yeah, obviously,
And
but it's
Everything else is
fine.
from Juga.
Like also,
There are cases of great repaint forms. Shinobi is
Oh, yeah,
a
like
great
this-
example of this. Imperial Demons. But otherwise, I'm looking forward towards the Gates movie, and our supposed rumor that Tycoon is getting something new. Also, Daddy Time Fire is going to Henshin.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
We both should have expected that joke.
Yeah, that's true. Looking forward to seeing that happen, if it happens.
Yes. Along with Nago. Also, they kind of the funny thing that they told us about Fantasy. It's a pre-order bonus. For
Ah. Well, looking forward to seeing what fantasy is then.
Yeah, because it's a pre-order bonus for sponsors that acts as a less techy version of Boost.
Cool.
mostly how like in Kamen Rider, like they really love Kamen Rider Shinobi because he's getting a mini movie or something with Tycoon.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's because he
that's
has a
funny.
ninja mode. It works. It
I
makes sense.
know. It works thematically.
I got something.
What's up?
It's something that I probably should have brought up last month,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more Doctor Who stuff.
Oh, okay.
This time, first off, we now have titles for the specials. The first one is going to be called The Star Beast, and it's going to be based on the 1984 comic of the same name.
Oh,
The second one is Wild Blue Yonder, but there's no actual footage of that episode shown in the trailers. And the third is The Giggle, and it's going to be the one with Neil Patrick Harrison, supposedly as the Celestial Toy Maker.
uh-huh.
His first real villain role.
Yeah, and as for castings, Bonnie Langford is set to return to the series as Melanie Bush, who during the classic series is infamous for being one of the worst companions ever because all she did was scream. But because of the recent events of Power of the Doctor, and showing you that she's in unit, maybe we'll see a Mel that's more confident and less screamy.
Maybe.
And yesterday also just so happened to be the 104th birthday of John Pertwee,
Oh,
who was the third Doctor.
is he still kicking?
No.
No, he died
Okay,
in 1996.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, usually we celebrate so many birthdays if they're still alive. I guess I just default.
So that's it for me.
Also, question: what do y'all think of the new King mode?
What?
And what?
In King Goja, the Caucasus King mode.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. You gotta remember, spoilers, dude.
Oh right. No, this was yesterday. This was
I-
last week.
Dude,
Oh, right.
yeah.
Sorry.
It's
Spoilers.
fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just, try and be.
Either way.
I heard a rumor that he was getting an upgrade form, but I know nothing about it. My wife and I are actually trying to keep ourselves in the dark for most of the series because this series is so good. We want to marathon it back to back as though it's brand new to us. It's kind of like when you go to see the Lord of the Rings movies and you've never seen them, you want to see them all at once.
That makes a lot of sense.
But I guess if that's all we've got to talk about, then we can go ahead and end the show here. Sound good to everyone?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Alright, well this has been a fantastic show. Pretty calm, all things considered, and not too chaotic. We even got some fun topics out of the way. And thank you everybody for coming to the show, and thank you for everybody who tuned in. We stream this show once a month at the first Friday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern, which means the next one should be on August 4th. So
Awesome.
I thank you again for showing up, and I thank you again for participating, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Pizza dough.